Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my review for Weymouth Youth Wrestling, or WYW for short. Gold Rush Mega Event live stream for December 8th, 2018. And this is it. This is the final home stretch for Immortal. Immortal airs tomorrow on YouTube, on the WYW YouTube channel, my channel, and, other YouTube channels, Periscope, Twitch, things like that. So definitely give those definitely give it a watch tomorrow. But before I can even watch Immortal tomorrow, I gotta watch the show. I gotta review this show, and I'm very excited about this show. We have a lot of fantastic matches announced for this show, which I'll preview now. But before I start the video, I will announce that I'm going to be reviewing the show match by match. So after each match or segment, I'll come back on here and talk about it. So now that I've kind of, announced that, let's talk about the call that's going to be taking place on this show. To kick off the show, we're going to have a 6-man tag team elimination match. The Kai and Tai Dojo, which consists of Taka Michinoku, Kyle Weaver, and John Gray, are going to take on London Devastation, which consists of Jack Robertson, also known as Cruzon, Matt Harrington, and Chris Foster. I said who was in each team because, just so that way people don't know. Because Kai and Tai Dojo, people might get it confused with New Japan Pro Wrestling versions of Kai and Tai Dojo. But, obviously this match has quite a bit of history. This goes back to Taka Michinoku's debut in WYW when London Devastation completely took him out. And now Taka Michinoku wants to get his revenge. And, John Gray lost a match to Jack Robertson on the last episode of WYW. Kyle Weaver, who's seen, Taka Michinoku as a mentor. It makes sense for him to be in this match. So I'm actually really looking forward to this match. But we're also going to have the start of a mini tag team championship tournament where we're going to crown first ever WYW tag team champions. We have 2 matches that are going to be showcased. First being, representing the Maggie Daddy Men, Corey Dangerous and Brett Mention. They're going to be taking on Chris Phoenix and Jones Meister, which consists of the Ultimate Cousin Alliance. I don't really know how this match is going to be because I've never seen, these teams face off or anything like that. I imagine that, Corey Dangerous and Brett Mention must be a really good team, but I don't really know how the Almost Cousin Alliance are going to fare as a tag team. But we're also going to have the return of Johnny Starr. He's going to be teaming up with Matthew Nova, known as the tag team the Morning Stars, to face Brandon Curtis and Eddie Kelly, which are known as the Doom Brigade. You can totally tell that I read that off the description, but I wasn't going to remember any of that. But, that match is kind of hard for me. The tag team title tournament's kind of hard for me to comment on because I haven't seen any of these teams team up or wrestle. But, and I feel like they kind of rushed it, but it's not like they had time to really build to a tag team title tournament. So, whatever. But then, we're going to have the semifinals for the 2 tournaments that have been prominently featured on WYW. First tournament being the Athena Championship Tournament. We're going to have 2 semifinal matches. And now the semifinal matches are going to be one-on-one, and they're going to be Full Metal Mayhem matches, which are pretty much TLC, which stands for Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, base matches, which I'm very excited about. We have 2 very excited matches in the tournament. First being Jonah Ramos taking on Colleen Horizon. I really can't wait to see them go at it. Jonah Ramos just looked, scary and vicious in her tournament match. And we have Colleen Horizon, who looked very impressive in her tournament match. So I'm actually really excited about that. And we also have the second semifinal match being Vira McGolden versus Lizzie Gray. They absolutely went to war in their tournament matches. I expected them to do the same thing in these Full Metal Mayhem matches. But then we have the semifinals to Gold Rush, which is basically what WYW's been built on since the end of the test match series, really even since the beginning of WYW. The test match series was to set up Gold Rush. And I'm very excited for these matches. Now the semifinals of Gold Rush are going to be contested in cell block matches, which is pretty much war game rules where, you know, you have a steel cage up, and if you can't leave the ring, and if you escape the cage, you lose. And it's going to be 2 out of 3 falls, which I'm very excited about. The only thing that's going to be different is they're not going to be weapons, and, you know, because it's WWE 2K14, they don't have, like, the technology to really, like, do a War Games match because it doesn't have 2 wins or anything like that, which I think would be awesome. But yeah, I'm very excited about the 2 cell block matches, and now that we're finally at the semifinals, the 2 semifinal tournament matches are going to be, first, Malkion going up against Sean Maverick. I'm very excited about this match. Obviously, they set that match up very well at the end of the last episode when Sean Maverick laid out Malkion after his match with Kyle Weaver. I'm really excited about it. I really can't wait, for this match. I really am hoping for Sean Maverick to get the win because I really like Sean Maverick. He's just an absolute superstar. I really want him to be the first WYW champion, but we'll have to wait and see. If Malkion won, I guess I wouldn't complain, but I think this match is going to be awesome, and I really can't wait for it. But then we have the main event. This is a rematch from the first ever match in WYW, Test Match 1. This is the 2 faces going up against each other, Heaven versus Hell. James Archangel representing Heaven versus Michael X. Really excited about this match. They've turned it up in the tournament, and I really can't wait to see them face off. So that's the card. This card looks awesome, and we're not even at Immortal yet. I'm really excited about this show. Now that I've kind of started, now that I've kind of booked the match card down and everything, let's get to the review right now. Okay, so the first thing that we really had, kind of like before the show started, they did like a little intermission thing. Because I think it's kind of cool. Like, you don't want to, since it's a live stream, you don't want to start the stream right away because people are going to be joining in late. Sometimes it takes people a while to get on and stuff like that. So I like that they kind of waited a bit to start. It, went about 7 minutes before that. But I think I mentioned it because it was very well made. They showed the trailer for this event. And you definitely go watch the trailer. It's very well made. Just kind of, announces the matches that are going to be on the show and stuff like that. I did find out that the tag team title tournament, both of the matches that are going to be on the show are going to be consisted under Extreme Rules Falls Count Anywhere matches, which I would expect nothing less. And then you had the president of WYW, James the He-Man Hebert, thanking everybody about this project, kind of talks about it a little bit, and thanks everyone that was a part of it. These reviews got thanked for it, which is awesome. Even though, like, I wasn't doing, I kind of took a break from them for a while, but it's definitely good that, like, these videos are getting a little bit appreciated, so that's awesome. But other thank yous got said, and yeah, definitely a very well-worthy speech. But now that I've kind of talked about that type of stuff, let's talk, let's actually review the show. Next was a video package, really setting up the show. We talked about, the show itself, how it's coming back to TD Golden, WYW's, well, not only home ground, but, home state. And they mainly talked about the tournament matches. They talked about other things too, but they talked about the tournament matches, how each of them want to fight to be the first ever champion of their respective divisions. And you had each of the people in the tournament cut the promos. It's, Colleen Horizon, Vera McGarden, Lizzie Gray, and Joanna Ramos. They did promos. Lizzie Gray, you really couldn't hear that well, but I'm really not going to credit. It's not really WYW's fault. Sometimes technology sucks. And then we had the one for the men's championship tournament. Michael X, James Archangel, Mark Yun, and Sean Maverick. Very good promos. They were, the same promo they've been cutting for a while, which maybe they should have updated those, but I still thought it was very well done. And you see, mainly Michael X, arriving at TD Garden saying that we're here. That was very cool, because they didn't do it they didn't use, the WWE, 2K14 footage, for it. So it kind of makes me question, how they did that. I probably shouldn't even be saying this right now, but, really nothing you can do about it. Yeah, I thought this video package was very well made, and, they used this song Underrated by the Via Reunion, which is a good song, and it made sense for the, what they were trying to get, the message they were trying to get across here, so good stuff. Okay, so then we had the show itself, which was filmed in TD Garden. There was they actually did an attendance count. There was 19,286 people there, which is pretty damn awesome. And we had the commentary team of Nathan Farrar, Jonathan Caterer, and Casey Gallagher. And we had the first match on the show. It was a WYW Vacant Tag Team Championship Tournament match. Extreme Rules, Falls Count Anywhere. Almost Cousin Alliance versus Corey Dangerous and Brett Mention. And man, was this a match right here. This match was just absolutely awesome. It didn't really go that long. And it was all types of action, all throughout the match. They knew they had a time limit. And they made the most out of their time. And I thought they actually had a wonderful match right here. It was awesome. The match starts off right away. Brett Mention and Corey Dangerous hit a double elevated uppercut and a bullhammer simultaneously. I believe Corey Dangerous hit it on Chris Phoenix, and Brett Mention hit it on Jones Meister, which was awesome. And then Corey Dangerous grabs a wind bell, and Brett Mention grabs a baseball bat. They start beating the crap out of them with the weapons. Corey Dangerous smacks Chris Phoenix right up the head with the wind bell, busting him open in the process. And basically, this was two separate matches in one right here. And it was just, this match was just absolute chaos, which I love, because this is kind of the type of matches that, should be happening when it's anything goes tag team match, which I really loved. They continue to just beat down the Almost Cousin Alliance. They hit a double gut buster. They go for a double wheelbarrow suplex, but it gets broken up. And Corey Dangerous hits, Chris Phoenix in the head with a wind bell for a second time. Chris Phoenix hits Brett Mention in the ribs and then in the back of the head on the outside of the ring with the wind bell. They do some stuff with the steel chair where, Corey Dangerous hits Chris Phoenix in the head with the steel chair. Corey Dangerous hits a springboard crossbody right onto, I believe it was Chris Phoenix. Jones Meister went off a ladder and completely destroyed Brett Mention. Brett Mention choked Jones Meister with the baseball bat. He got drop kicked by Jones Meister off the top turnbuckle, which was awesome. I believe Brett Mention got thrown into the steel steps. They broke the announce table. I believe Chris Phoenix hurricaned, Brett Mention through it. Corey Dangerous hit a dangerous DDT onto like the broken part of the table. Chris Phoenix hit a high cross body from the apron onto the outside through a table. Which was like so it was like a cross body splash. That was pretty damn awesome as well. They hit the utilized the wind bell still throughout much of this match. They got suplex into the ladder. They got power bombed into the ladder. Brett mentioned hit a wicked cool bullhammer elbow into a German suplex into the base into the wind bell. They fought in the ring. They got hit with a ladder. Just awesome hit with the ladder. Eventually though, Joyce Meister, Jones Meister, sorry, hit a Salida del Sol on Brett Mention, which I forget what he calls it, and then Chris Phoenix hit a Phoenix Driver, and there was a Falcon Arrow that was hit in this match as well by Corey Dangerous on the outside on the broken parts of the table. I want to make sure I mentioned that. They did some stuff where Corey Dangerous worked together and beat down Chris Phoenix, and they hung up Jones Meister into the ropes, and then the finish sequence is Jones Meister hitting the stunner on Brett Mention. At the same time, Chris Phoenix hits the package pile driver pretty much. I forget what he calls his finisher. On Corey Dangerous for the win, and they both pinned each guy simultaneously, so it counts. But this match was just absolutely awesome. I really can't do this match justice. Just go fucking watch it. It's great. They even did a spot where Jones Meister got the steps thrown at him. Corey Dangerous tried to break up a pinfall with a high cross body and stuff like that. So the match itself is just absolutely awesome. It's 4 stars easily. Great way to kick off the show. I thought this was the best way to kick off the show with just an absolute crazy match right here, and I thought it was great. 4 stars. Great match. And now, Almost Cousin Alliance advance in the tag team title tournament. They're going to face the winners of the Doom Brigade and Morning Stars tag team match, which, if it was anything like this match, I think it should be awesome. So, this match was just great. Something I forgot to mention is I really like that they actually changed up the set for this show, which made sense because, it's a big show. You want to go all out for your big shows, and I really like that they changed the set where it's it says Gold Rush on the head of the announcer's table. It has a Gold Rush set. Really enjoyed that. It even has Mega Event on it. And the arena just looks really goddamn cool. And I also like how they do the big graphics before each match because it's also a big show, so I really like that they do that. So that's just some really nice stuff that I like. Okay, so then we had the next match. It was a Full Metal Mayhem Athena Women's Championship semifinal tournament match. Colleen Horizon versus Joanna Ramos, and this match was great. It was awesome. I really enjoyed this match. I really am liking the card structure so far for this show. I thought it made sense to kind of have a nice lawn match. After the nice quick match. And this show is just flying by so far. We're almost an hour into it. It doesn't even feel like that. It feels like I've only been watching this for a half hour. So I think that's pretty damn awesome. And it was Full Metal Mayhem. They start off by doing chain wrestling, which I kind of thought it made sense kind of in a way for them to kind of start off by working this a wrestling style type of matchup since we just saw that big Extreme Rules match. You kind of needed to let the crowd breathe a little bit, especially me. And eventually, on the outside, I believe, Joanna Ramos knocks Colleen Horizon on the outside, and there was like a ladder set up on the outside because it's Full Metal Mayhem. They already have like the stuff out there, and the ladder falls over and she goes into it, and then Joanna Ramos hits a German suplex into the ladder, which was pretty damn awesome of itself. She throws Colleen Horizon into the steps. They do a spot where Colleen Horizon gets bulldogged through the table, which I thought was pretty cool. She went like face first through it. And Colleen Horizon hits a, starts to mount some type of offense. She hits a really awesome suplex, just a regular moonsault in the ring. But then they really start to get destructive. Colleen Horizon hits a moonsault through the announcer's table. Joanna Ramos hurricanes Colleen Horizon through the ladder, and Colleen Horizon does the same thing to her, later on in the match. It might have been vice versa. They both do the powerbomb off the ladder, which I kind of like. It was kind of like, each of them were getting payback on each other throughout this match. Colleen Horizon grabs a steel chair and wears out Joanna Ramos with it, and she puts in it like, puts the leg, her chair into a leg and stomps on it, which was pretty damn cool. Colleen Horizon hits a fireman's carry on the outside, which I don't remember off the top of my head what she calls that. And she throws, she hits a moonsault through the table. No, actually, she misses the moonsault on the outside, and she crashes through the table, but she hits an elbow drop, which kind of didn't really look like an elbow drop. Looked like more like a leg drop to me, but that was just WWE 2K14 being WWE 2K14. So we love those moments. Jenna Ramos hits a double stomp, while Colleen Horizon's laid out into the turnbuckle, which was pretty awesome. And then she hits another double stomp, another drop kick, while Colleen Horizon's in the in the corner with a ladder ridged on the leaned against the turnbuckle. That was pretty damn awesome. Colleen Horizon hits when she tips the ladder over. I'm sorry. Joanna Ramos tips the ladder over when Colleen is going for the briefcase. She is holding on to the briefcase, struggling to stay, not to fall down from the mat. But Joanna Ramos hits a spear, and sends Colleen Horizon crashing into the ladder, which was awesome. One thing I don't like about this match, nothing about the match itself, it's just more on 2K14, is I really hate that you have a limit type to the moves that you can do to people when they're on the ladder, get in the briefcase, and when you're actually doing stuff, because it would have been nice to kind of see a variety of moves done, but I'm not going to knock the match for that. It's more 2K14, just being 2K14. But then again, it's probably better than the ladder matches you would play in the nowadays video games. It's kind of breaking kayfabe a little bit, but James has broken kayfabe before, so whatever. Colleen Horizon hits a spider German suplex off the turnbuckle. I think it was the top turnbuckle. Actually, no, it was the middle, because you wouldn't be able to do a spider German suplex from the middle. But Joanna Ramos was on the top turnbuckle. She does it regular, and then she does it a second time into the ladders. I think she was supposed to go on the ladders the first time, but the ladders weren't close enough, so she had to do it again. But still, I still thought those were great spots. Joanna Ramos hits a back suplex, sending Colleen Horizon's back of the head into the the hardest part of the ladder, which was pretty damn awesome. And she gets busted open in the back of the head, and then Joanna Ramos hits a powerbomb onto the ladder. We had Joanna Ramos really being destructive. She hits a superplex, sending Colleen Horizon into two ladders. and she just methodically picks apart Colleen Horizon. Because another thing I really liked about this match is they didn't just wrestle this match by doing all these types of crazy spots for no reason in a ladder match. You could feel like there was purpose to it. You know, these women were trying to beat the holy hell out of each other so they could lay each other out long enough to grab the briefcase. And you could just feel like that this was kind of part of their characters. Joanna Ramos is this destructive person that just wants to hurt people. So that's why she just kept destroying Colleen Horizon. And Colleen Horizon kind of had to get into that mindset. So I really like that. And, you know, then we had the finish. Joanna Ramos misses a splash from the top of the ladder through a table on the outside while Colleen Horizon was on it. And Colleen Horizon hits a rock-a-bye bottom, I think it's called. I think it's called a rock bottom, but I think it's supposed to be like as if it's a lullaby, so it's called rock-a-bye bottom number 2, which makes me question what the first one looks like. On the outside, and Colleen Horizon goes up, grabs the briefcase, and I really like the way they did this finish because I thought this, you know, protected Joanna Ramos. Not like she would have needed protecting, but Joanna Ramos, like right when she got on her feet and went up on the apron, Colleen Horizon was still able to grab the briefcase anyways. I really liked that finish. I thought that finish was just absolutely awesome because now they can do a rematch down the line, maybe where Joanna Ramos can say, you know, you beat me via fluke. They can do all types of stuff, but yeah, I really like this match. I thought it was a great match. I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. And now Colleen Horizon advances in the tournament. Even though I picked Colleen Horizon to win this match, I kind of was surprised that she did win this match with the fashion that she did and stuff like that. And I probably missed like a ton of spots in this match. I definitely missed the Dragon Suplex into the ladder. But really just go watch this match for yourself. Because you have like another day or so to watch this show before Immortal. So make sure you do that. Because this match was just great. 4.5 stars. Really enjoyed it. Next, it shows a brawl between Chris Dodd and Lil Andre. It just cuts backstage to it, which I kind of thought was a nice transition. And Chris Dodd slams a door into the face of Lil Andre. And they beat the crap out of each other. Chris Dodd throws him into one of those like rolling coats that you stick laptops on and things like that. And Little Andre fights back. He hits a wicked clothesline on him. And they continue to fight. Chris Dodd eventually hits the paycheck onto the concrete floor, which ends up busted open Little Andre, which I thought was awesome. And they continue to fight. Chris Dodd throws Little Andre into a soda machine. He lands him back first twice into it, which Nathan Farrar had like a funny line where he kept asking for certain types of sodas. It was pretty damn funny. And Chris Dodd throws him into some equipment boxes on the outside and bounces Little Andre's head onto it. And Little Andre then perceives control and he throws him into some equipment boxes and he bounces Chris Dodd's head onto it, and like the equipment boxes were like stacked, so they kept falling off anytime someone got like slammed into it or something like that. And then eventually Chris Dodd, you know, finally wins like the war. He hits a power bomb into a backbreaker, and basically Little Andre's all laid out. This is a tie-in too because Little Andre's part of the Maggie Daddy Men, so you know Chris Dodd wants to get his hands on the Maggie Daddy Men since they screwed him out of the WYW Gold Rush tournament. And Johnny Starr then arrives and says that looks like I showed up at the right fucking time, which was pretty damn awesome. And I really liked this backstage fight. I thought it was well placed on the show. And you know it made sense because you know Chris Dodd wants to do whatever it takes to get his hands on the Maggie Daddy Men, so I thought this fight was a thumbs up. Okay, so I've tried to come up with like some type of opening for this next part of the video, and I really can't. Like I'm kind of at a lot of words of confusion over the finish of the match. So I've had to retake it like 4 times. This is my actually really 5 times because I had to look up something. But let's talk about this match, and then maybe I'll kind of, you know, talk about it as I go through it. So it was a Gold Rush semifinals cell block 2 out of 3 falls tournament match. Sean Maverick versus Mark Young. I couldn't remember the name for a second. And Little Andre was supposed to be ringside doing commentary, but because of that backstage fight with Chris Dodd, it didn't happen, which kind of makes the backstage fight make more sense, because this was a way that Chris Dodd could get one over on the Maggie Daddy Benz if he took away somebody like that. And that, but I really liked the video package for this match, where, you know, it shows the hype for it, where Mark Young talks about his path of destruction in the tournament, how he took out Michael X, made him a paraplegic, how he ruined the franchise of WYW when he turned the underdog Dynamite Kid into a nerd or something like that. And, you know, I really liked how he was talking trash about Sean Maverick, you know, him being in the war, just so that way he could, like, you know, have, like, some insecurities about killing people and stuff and being a group of belonging. But you have Mark Young, who just goes into wrestling and just kills people just because he doesn't want to. It was just awesome. And you have Sean Maverick, who just wants to obliterate Mark Young for, you know, his path in the Gold Rush tournament. And says that, you know, Zach Kurosaki and Taka Michinoku have been, you know, playthings compared to, you know, Mark Young. And I really love the video package. You just really got to watch it. It's awesome. Then we had the match. And one thing I got to say about this match is this match, the story is really what makes the match. I really like it in the ring, but I think the storyline makes the match. Because if you're going to judge it in the ring, it's still a great match. It's probably like, you know, a 4-star match. But, you know, I think the storyline of how, you know, and the feud that kind of goes into this match really takes the match up a notch. And what I really like about a Mark Young match, and I talked about that, you know, in the last video, is he's a heel that doesn't want to give the 5-star matches. He's a heel that just is willing to do whatever it takes to get the money and the fame, but doesn't care about in-win quality. And I even like how they're really going along about how he's bland and generic. He comes out like a bland and generic wrestler. He's got bland and generic theme music. They're really going all out with it, and I like it. And obviously I love Sean Maverick. I really wanted Sean Maverick to win this match. And I love the way that this match was structured. Where Sean Maverick, he goes in there and he just destroys Mark Young throughout the first fall of the match. Like, he beats the fuck out of Mark Young. You know, he throws him into the fucking cage a handful of times, bounces his head off the cage, buckle bombs him with the exposed turnbuckle. Irish whips him into like 4 exposed turnbuckles. Slingshots him like a handful of times into the cage. Irish whips him like fucking a handful of times. He German suplexes him. I'm not reviewing this match spot for spot because it doesn't need to be. This is like a different type of review. And, you know, he hits the people's punch and just really wants to beat the shit out of Mark Young. And Mark Young would have his moments where he would get into control, but fucking all that was doing was just pissing the fuck off out of Sean Maverick. It was fucking awesome. And Sean Maverick hits the Titan Punch, the 12 gauge, and he hits 2 of them, and he gets the first fall. And he fucking destroyed Mark Young. And I loved it. I loved the way they structured the first fall of this match, and the way this match was just structured in general. And then Mark Yun, he utilizes his strategy in this match. And he works over the back of Sean Maverick and the injured eye. He really goes to town on it. And, you know, he throws him back first into the cage. He hits 2 total backbreakers. He hits like a backbreaker out of the corner. Until eventually, you know, he catches Sean Maverick out of nowhere with a roll-up. And that was kind of weird because you couldn't really hear the referee's count. Which is fucking 2K14's fault. So fuck you, 2K14. That's not WYW's fault. And yeah, Mark Young gets the fall out of nowhere. And all that fucking does is just piss off Sean Maverick even more. The fact that Mark Young was able to get a fall in on him. So he obliterates him some more. He hits another Titan punch on him. He throws him in head first into the cage, busts him open. And he hits the 12 gauge and he goes for the cover. And then the lights go out. We see like a flash in the arena. And this thing comes up where like WYW is like getting hacked. And we hear this get said, Project ASEM, which I don't know what that is, but then this like sideboard comes out, and we don't know who this is, and he's inside the cell block, and he hits 4 choke slams onto Sean Maverick, and then Mark Yun hits the Yun bomb, or what, the power bomb, I forget what he calls it, covers Sean Maverick, and gets the win, and he advances to the finals of the tournament. And that was basically it. I love the way the commentary was acting in this match as well. How they were all happy that Mark Young was finally getting destroyed. And Jonathan Cater was that hothead. He like quits when, you know, Jim Cornette says that he can't do anything about this. So, this match is in the 4-star range. This match was fucking so close to being 5 stars. But there's something I don't understand. And that's the finish. Because they've said before that, you know, WYW, the Gold Rush tournament was going to have a change in format where if anybody interfered in the match would be over and the other guy would win. It's a disqualification, pretty much. What the fuck happened here? Sean Maverick was attacked. He should have advanced in the tournament. What happened? And that's where I'm confused at here. Why is Mark Young advancing? So that hurt the match for me a lot. Because it just leaves me a land of confusion. If they were gonna do this finish, they should have had something, you know, where instead of the Cyborg physically putting his hands on Sean Maverick, they should have just had him, you know, out there in the ring or something like that, or just have this graphic shown up and then Sean Maverick just be laid out, and then Mark Young wins, you know, that way. I mean, it's still kind of stupid anyways. Like, I feel like they should have just had Mark Young win clean. I get why they would do this finish, because this is like a this fits with Mark Young's character where he always finds some type of game plan, but the problem is they handicap themselves with that whole, if, you know, somebody gets attacked, they automatically advance in this tournament. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So, yeah, this kind of makes this. I'm very confused about this. So I'm giving this match 4 3/4 stars. Would have been 5 stars if it wasn't for the finish. I have a feeling they have a plan, but it will all become okay. Maybe they'll explain, but it really didn't make any sense. Like, that they would set those stipulations and then do this. They should have taken like the Chris Dodd element where Sean Maverick was attacked by somebody backstage before the match happened, and he comes in all hurt, but he still, you know, has a good enough showing, but Mark Young still wins, and then you can do then if you want to put in that Cyborg, you can, because the debut was pretty cool, but just didn't really make any sense to me. I don't really understand what they were going for here. So 4 3/4 stars. It was so close to being 5 stars, but not quite. One thing I want to say about the match, I forgot to mention. I even like how Jonathan Cato got so pissed he took his commentary set off. I might have mentioned it, but I want to make sure I do. But then we had a backstage segment with Mark Young, and he runs into Michael X, and Michael X is pissed because, Mark Young took those cheap ways to win. But, Mark Young claims he doesn't have anything to do with that, which I don't know how much of that is true or not, because that could be just him being a heel. But he says it doesn't matter. He got the win, and now he's one step closer to becoming the very first ever WYW World Champion. Michael X says, though, that you're still going to have to either get past me or James the Archangel. And he says that we're not going to let that happen. And I really hope that it is me, because I want to get revenge on you for Test Match 13 when he took him up with those sledgehammer shots. And Mark Young starts talking some more shit, and then James Archangel walks up and tells Michael X to take his own advice, because you're not going to get past me tonight, and I want to be the one to destroy Mark Young after the reign of terror that he's caused in the Gold Rush tournament. And Mark Young insults both Michael X and James Archangel, and says that he doesn't care which one of them he has to go through. He's going to, walk out of Immortal as the first ever WYW World Champion. And James Archangel's like, you know what, Mike, fuck this guy. He's not worth it. Let's sell our business in the ring later tonight. And then James Archangel walks away. Mark Young calls him a pussy and things like that, and says, tuck your tail between your legs and run home crying to your mom. And James Archangel makes a funny joke saying that he did that in his bed last night or something like that. I like this backstage segment, though. I thought it did a really good job, of possibly setting up the next match in the tournament. I was getting worried because I thought they were just going to show Michael X and, Mark Young, so that would have given away the main event. But having James Archangel get included, it kind of builds intrigue. It kind of makes, you want to see Michael X or James Archangel face both of them, or face Mark Young. So I like this. So I'm going to give this a thumbs up. So yeah, good backstage segment. The only problem with it is they had some, technical issues where you really couldn't hear it. But other than that, it was a good backstage segment. So apparently there was more to that backstage segment. I didn't know that because it cut back to the arena, and I thought the segment was over, but it wasn't. But Michael Eggs then went on to say that, you're either going to fight me or James the Archangel at Immortal, but you better hope it's not me, because when Superman fought Doomsday, Superman died, and the same thing's going to happen to you. Which, I guess WYW does some type of Doomsday match, so maybe that was supposed to be a reference to that. But I wouldn't know that because I didn't watch any of the test matches really. So yeah. So he walks away, and Mark Young talks about how he's the best in the world. And he says that no matter what happens, I'm gonna walk out the first WYW World Champion. And I still feel the same way about the backstage segment. This was definitely still a thumbs up. Okay, so I fell asleep. So I'm just going to finish the show right now. Because it's 9:08 a.m. right now. So, yeah. And I switched to my phone because I'm too lazy to pull up my computer right now. So, there you go. But we had the next match. It was a 6-man tag team elimination match. It was London Devastation versus the Kai and Tai Dojo. I thought this was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. Kyle Weaver and Matt Harrington started off the match, and they exchanged some chain wrestling holds on each other. Kyle Weaver mainly
got the best of him. Um, Matt Harrington though, and Chris Foster hit like a double reverse suplex onto him, and then John Gray got tagged in, and he's starts really firing away onto all the members of London Devastation, but then they get the heat on him for a while, and then Taka Michinoku gets tagged in. He really starts beating the crap out of London Devastation, but then eventually they get the heat on him, and they beat him up on the outside, which was pretty goddamn cool. And then the Kaientai Dojo would turn the favor on, London Devastation by beating one of them on the outside for a long time. Really liked the 6-man tag elimination match. I really liked how in an elimination match, some people were bothering actually to break up pinfalls to prevent eliminations because it actually makes sense. I always hate in the elimination matches where, people would get pinned but they don't break up the pinfall. It just really annoys me. Then, yeah, what happened next? Yeah, we had, with, a double team DDT, a double team reverse superplex again by the Lemon Devastation, a double team back suplex, which was pretty cool, and then Taka Michinoku eventually hits a brain buster onto Matt Harrington, busting him open, and Kyle Weaver hits a dynamite destroyer onto him, covers him, and eliminates Matt Harrington. And all this did was just piss off London Devastation. So it's 2-on-1. They beat, well, it's 2-on-3, but they beat down Kyle Weaver for a long time. They, take him to the outside and really beat him down on the outside. And I believe Jack Robinson hits a elbow drop through the announcer's table, which was pretty cool, onto Kyle Weaver. And Jack Robinson tries to win with the driver, but John Gray breaks up the pinfall just in time. And then eventually he just taps out Kyle Weaver with the Anaconda Vice, and this ties in because of his match in the previous episode with Mark Young. Made sense for him to, tap out. And then it's down to a 2-on-2 tag team match, and they kind of work it like a 2-on-2 tag team match. But they hit some really cool back and forth tag team moves. Eventually, Taka Michinoku gets hit with a Chaos Theory into a no-way super kick, which is just a regular like sweet chin music. At the same time, Jack Robinson spears John Gray off the apron, and Taka Michinoku gets eliminated, which I was kind of surprised. I figured he'd be the last guy in the match, and the feud kind of started with him, but I kind of liked that it was down to John Gray and the other two. John Gray hits an elevated spear right onto Chris Foster, eliminating him. And then it's down to Kuzan and John Gray. They exchange roll-ups on each other. Eventually, they pull when they go on the outside. John Gray hits a running dive on the outside. When Jack Robinson tries to grab a steel chair, but there is disqualifications, but there's no countouts though. And Jack Robinson, and then John Gray hits a running STO onto the chair, and they fight back into the ring. John Gray hits a back suplex onto the apron. He goes for, they fight on the outside some more. John Gray hits a suplex onto the chair. Jack Robinson hits a brainbuster on the outside, and then John Gray goes for a dive, but misses and hits the broken part of the announcer's table, and then Jack Robinson puts John Gray back into the ring, hits a driver, gets the win, which made sense for London Devastation to go over because it was their debut match and you want to make them look like a strong stable. And then the lights go out and Victor Sagat's in the ring, and he beats the crap out of Kuzan. He hits him with a baseball bat. He hits a lightning power bomb, well, just a lightning bomb onto him. He just beats the shit out of him pretty much. Busts him open with the baseball bat, gets him in a camel clutch, a Hell's Gate, a triangle choke into the arms. He just beat the shit out of Kuzan. I thought it was awesome, and he leaves. And I thought this match itself and the segment was really good. The match itself will get 3 3/4. I thought it was a really good 6-man elimination match. And I thought all of this was a thumbs up with the attack by Victor Scott. So I don't know if they're going to do Kuzan versus Victor Scott at Immortal, or if they're going to save that for, a different show. Not really sure, but we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, so next we had another match in the WYW Tag Team Championship Tournament. It's an Extreme Rules Falls Count Anywhere match. The Morning Stars versus the Doom Brigade. This match I thought was great. I think I enjoyed maybe this match a little bit more than the first match, but it's very close. This match was just all types of nuts. That if I try to break this down move for move, you can't. So I'm just gonna break down the spots that I remember. Some of my favorite spots in the match were Eddie Kelly hitting the blockbuster off a ladder onto Matthew Nova. Um, you know, what's his name? Brandon Curtis hitting the Doom Valley driver onto Matthew Nova onto a ladder. The Morning Stars hitting like a shooting star press like senton at the same time onto, I think, Brandon Curtis through a table on the outside. That was pretty goddamn cool. And we had, Johnny Starr bust open Eddie Kelly by hitting him off the head with a steel chair. They did like Russian leg sweeps and stuff onto a sledgehammer. We had like some double team, tag team moves. Brandon Curtis did a superplex off a ladder through the announce table, I think, on Johnny Starr. Eddie Kelly tried to go put Johnny Starr through a table, but he missed, and then he ended up going through himself. We had a corner DDT. What else? More sledgehammer shots. A neck breaker by Eddie Kelly. A neck breaker by Johnny Starr. This match was just all types of nuts. I really just can't break it down. This is just really one of those matches that you have to watch because I could miss like a ton of spots in this match. Johnny Starr hit an awesome shooting star press off a ladder. That was pretty goddamn cool. They reversed like a double team maneuver, which was pretty cool. But we had the finish though, which was Brandon Curtis hitting Johnny Starr with the Thunderstruck, which is like a jumping cutter, for the win, which made sense for the Doom Brigade to go over because they're trying to set up a match between Johnny Starr and either Brett Benson or James Archangel. So, made sense for the Doom Brigade to go over. So now at Immortal, it's going to be the Doom Brigade versus the Almost Cousin Alliance in a ladder match. They're going to call it a Blood Money ladder match, which I think is just basically a regular ladder match. But this match was just great. They did some stuff with the steel steps too. I forgot to mention like where Johnny Starr fell onto him. But yeah, this match was just great. I really had trouble keeping track of it. The commentators had trouble keeping track of it, which you really can't blame them. And this is just really one of those matches. There's all types of chaos, and I loved it. I thought it was great. 4 1/4 stars. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. Okay, so I went back to my Logie webcam and my Blue Snowball mic because I figured this match was worth it and I wasn't lazy anymore, which is mainly that's the reason. It's because I wasn't lazy anymore. So, yeah. We had the next match, it was another semifinal match in the Athena Championship Tournament. Full Metal Mayhem. Viola McGolden versus Lizzie Gray. And this match was just fantastic. The video package really went a long way. You know, they talked about how these two women are going on the semi-main event before the two faces of WYW, and how they're, you know, have been represented by the two faces of WYW, Michael X and James Archangel, since they're both in relationships with Viola McGolden being Michael X's fiance, Lizzie Gray being James Archangel's girlfriend. They were both trained by the faces of WYW, and they talked about all the adversities they had to go through to get to this match. You know, not just the matches in the tournament itself, but you know, Lizzie Gray, you know, having to walk again when no one thought that she would. Viola McGolden being that underdog, especially when you saw that in, you know, her first round tournament match. And they say that they're going to win. They talk about how they have enough, you know, respect for each other. But, you know, they're willing to do whatever it takes to become the first ever Athena champion. And I even liked how they kind of talked about how they have the same traits as the god Athena. You know, how they have courage and whatever the other two were. So I thought that was absolutely awesome. And then we had the match. And the match was fantastic. I like how it started off as just a traditional wrestling match, because like I said, we had just seen, you know, a big extreme match. We kind of needed to let me and the crowd breathe a little bit, so I kind of like how it started off that way. You know, Viola McGolden hit a like a version of the Olympic Slam. It wasn't quite the Olympic Slam. Lizzie Gray hit a really cool drop kick, a, you know, German suplex, a belly to back throw. Eventually, you know, Lizzie Gray knocks out Viola McGolden to the outside. She hits a dragon suplex through the table that was set up on the outside. She threw Viola McGolden into the steps. She tipped a ladder over and suplex Viola McGolden into it. And then this is pretty much when the match just gets crazy, so I'm not going to break this match down spot by spot. I'm just going to name all the big spots. Lizzie Gray, while there was a ladder like set up, leaned up against the ropes, ran across the rope, the ladder, and, you know, hit a diving like clothesline right onto Viola McGolden. Viola McGolden, you know, throughout the times when each of them would try to get the briefcase, they would have a spot where like the ladder would get tipped over and they would be stuck up holding onto the briefcase. Viola McGolden powerbomb Lizzie Gray onto a ladder, and I liked the Lizzie Gray part of it where she was just begging her to get down, but eventually she just had to powerbomb her, you know, onto another ladder. Lizzie Gray nearly crushed Viola McGolden's Lonix with a like a flip senton from the top turnbuckle into the steel chair while it was connected to a Lonix. Viola McGolden hit an awesome, you know, Hurricanrana into the ladder and the steel steps that were set up, and then a corkscrew senton doing the same thing. And then Viola McGolden hit Lizzie Gray off the head with a chair. They hit, she suplexed Lizzie Gray a handful of times into the ladder, which that was pretty damn cool. She, like, you know, hit a drop kick, you know, setting them both of them off the ladder. Viola McGolden hit a, set up Lizzie Gray under the top turnbuckle and hit a high crossbody off the ladder into the turnbuckles. So that was pretty damn awesome in itself. Lizzie Gray hits a back suplex into the post, and then like a suplex and a dragon suplex into the barricade, and then one into the steps. They Lizzie Gray hit a rampage, which is like the skull to skull, first regular and then one onto a steel chair face first. That was pretty damn cool. You know, they Lizzie Vera McGolden hit a neck breaker into the steps and the ladder, hit a power bomb like into the corners of the steps and the ladder. That was pretty damn cool. Yeah, a lot of spots in this match. I really can't, there was a superplex spot. Lizzie Gray hit a Celtic cross from the top of the ladder I think on the steps. I don't exactly remember if she exactly made contact with the steps. And Lizzie Gray would have won the match there had she not lost her footing, which I kind of like that story element of the match. I was worried that was going to be the end of the match, which I thought would have been a stupid finish, but I'm glad they kept the match going. Vera McGolden hit a powerbomb from the ladder. Lizzie Gray hit a moonsault up from the top of the ladder through a table that Vera McGolden was on, and eventually the finish was a crazy finish. After many brawl attempts on a ladder and many chances they were trying to win, where Lizzie Gray would fall off and stuff. Eventually, Vera McGolden hit a superplex off the top of a ladder through 3 tables that were set up on the outside. There was just 2 regular tables and then the announce table itself. This impact was so grand that it ended up cutting out Nathan Farrell and Jonathan Cater's mics on commentary. I guess I should have said headset. Like they had to have Casey Gallagher, because he doesn't sit at the table with them. He sits into the timekeeper's area. But that was absolutely awesome. And Vera McGolden eventually gets the briefcase and wins the match, and she advances now to the finals of the tournament. But this match was fantastic. I'm going to give it 5 stars. It was absolutely awesome. Really no question about it. I thought it was crazy. Afterwards, they shake hands of respect, and this is exactly what women's wrestling should be. I thought it was absolutely awesome. And I'm really excited now to watch Colleen Horizon versus Vera McGolden in the finals. I think they're going to absolutely tear the house down. And yeah, fantastic match. And I thought the right person went over. I wanted Vera McGolden to win, and she did win. So I thought the right person went over. Commentary was great in this match. And yeah, 5-star match. Fantastic. Okay, so next was the main event. In the Gold Rush semifinal tournament cell block 2 out of 3 falls match, James Archangel versus Michael X, and this match was awesome. I really liked the video package they showed for this match, talking about how they were the first televised match in Test Match 1 in WYW history, and talking about how they were a tag team together, but also friends together. And they talked, and you had various WYW superstars talk about them, like Jay Bones, Luco Lucky, Kyle Weaver, and other people. Matthew Nova. And I really like this because if you know them, like in real life, you know that this was like a legitimate story. They talk about all the trials and tribulations they've had to deal with throughout their lives. Michael X being homeless, and James the Archangel's family coming to take him in and help him graduate high school. James Archangel going through a tough time in high school with his disabilities and things like that, and then going through the trials and tribulations in college, dating the crazy girl, which I might have liked that one more than anybody else, but that's just me. But they've always been there for each other. They've always had each other's backs with school bullies and things like that, and taking on people in the professional wrestling business. But the championship is too important. They talk about how they want to be the first ever WYW champion. James has gone through so much to get here that he doesn't want to just lie down for Mike. He's not going to take it easy on him. And Mike has gone through so much. He doesn't want to just lay down, and he tells James to stand aside, out of his way. He wants to be the #1 guy in WYW. And yeah, pretty much it ends with James the Archangel saying that he's going to, that sometimes the best of friends can become the best of enemies. Or rivals, they say. They don't really say enemies. And that was pretty much the hype package for this match, which this needed to be the last match in the tournament just because of the storyline that went into it and everything like that. Then you had the match, and this is nothing compared to the first match. This tops the first match. I really liked the callback that they did from the first match where Michael X hit the spear right away. This time James Archangel reversed it. I thought that was pretty awesome. And Michael X hits a tornado DDT, a big boot. He throws James Archangel into the cage. James Archangel hits a moonsault. He hits a running sunset flip powerbomb. I'm probably not going to break this match down spot by spot because I'm getting low on time. But Michael X hit the DDT. He hit the executioner bomb the first time, but James Archangel kicked out. James Archangel hit the detonation power bomb. Michael X kicked out, and they throw each other into the cage. James Archangel busts Michael X open with a Whisper in the Wind, which that was awesome. He throws Michael X into the cage. He slingshots him into the cage. And he gets the first fall with a detonation bomb and then a moonsault. And he gets the first fall. And this just pissed Michael X off. He throws James Archangel into the cage. When James Archangel's punching him in the corner, he drives him face first into the cage and hits a spine buster onto him. He superplexes him. Eventually hits a DDT and hits another executioner bomb in the middle of the ring. He covers him. He gets the first fall. It's tied 1-1, and they just brutalize each other. Come on. I can't retake this just because of time, so I'm just gonna include this. So continuing breaking down the match. Eventually they fight it out. Michael X hits the executioner bomb again. James Archangel kicks out. And then James Archangel, he goes to hit another one, and then James Archangel fights back, hits another detonation bomb, and he begs for mercy from God. But that could have cost him in the end because it allowed Michael X to recover and kick out. Then Michael X hits the executioner bomb from the top turnbuckle and gets the win, which makes sense because Michael X has been pushed a little bit more, and I really wanted Michael X to win, so I was fine with it. But this match was just absolutely awesome. 5 stars, perfect match and perfect way to end the tournament. And then afterwards they shake hands, and then Mark Young comes out and laughs at him and says that he's going to completely own Michael X at Immortal, and says that he's gonna, he doesn't pander to any of the people to the audience, and he said that he wants Michael X at his best when he faces him, and Michael X says that this could be talk of fear, jealousy, or rage. And he says that you don't even know what the stipulation is. He said that the stipulation is going to be a 2 out of 3 falls Hell in a Cell match, which I think would be awesome. I think it's the perfect way to crown the first champion. And, Michael X says that he's going to make sure that Mark Young leaves in a body bag pretty much. And then afterwards he gets into the ring and they have a face-off to really build up the title match. And I actually am really excited about the finals. I expected Michael X to make it this far, but Mark Young, I really didn't expect to make it this far. When you kind of watch the tournament from round 1, you really wouldn't expect it. But when you continue to watch him and his progression, I'm really excited about the Michael X Mark Young match. I think that's going to be a hell of a match. It's the finals of the tournament that's been built up for this long, and I think it's going to be awesome. I think it will be an awesome main event. Okay, so next we had that invasion again from that cyborg, and he's attacking Sean Maverick backstage. He throws him into like a sound effects box, and he introduces himself as El Diablo, who said that he's here to destroy WYW because he was made an alternate in the Gold Rush tournament, and he finds that insulting. And he said that he's pretty much going to destroy everybody in WYW for blood, greed, everything. And I like how at the end, typically when it says the dream never dies, instead of saying that it says the dream dies. And I like this. I actually like this character a lot. You could like see him. He's very ominous. Like he's in like a room with like candles lit. I actually think this could be a really cool character, and I really hope that at Immortal we get Sean Maverick versus El Diablo. But I think it might be too soon for that. I think like that match should be built a little bit more. What I think they should do is I think they should do some type of, they should have Sean Maverick and El Diablo somehow on the show. Maybe put him in a big battle royal or something. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. And I thought this was just fantastic. So I really enjoyed this. And that was the end of the mega event. And talk about doing things at the last minute, because Immortals today at like 2:30 and it's 11:54 a.m. and I'm just finally caught up on it. Never say I do things on time, because I don't. So that kind of sucks, but I had other things going on. So yeah. But my letter grade for this show is, I thought it was absolutely awesome. I'm going to give it an A+. Not a problem with this show. All the matches really delivered. I liked how this show really built towards Immortal. With the 2 semifinal tournament matches. Well, actually really 4 of them, but you get the point. And you had the 6-man tag. I thought was really good. I really liked the tag team title tournament matches. And what else was on the show? I know there was something else, but I'm probably forgetting it. But I like the backstage brawl with Chris Dodd and Little Andre. I like the introduction of El Diablo. So I really like this. I guess really my only gripe of the show is the Sean Maverick thing, but I'm really going to overlook that. I'm really still kind of confused by that, because why is Mark Young kind of still in the tournament if Sean Maverick was attacked? So now, actually, thinking about it maybe more, I'm gonna knock it down to an A, because of the finish of the Sean Maverick, Mark Young match. It's gonna knock down to an A. I forgot about that finish for a second there, because it kind of really doesn't make any sense to me. But that's pretty much the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel, because if you want to watch Immortal, it'll be on this channel. And click on the bell so that way when that stream comes up, you'll get the notification for it. Make sure you guys do the same thing for the CM Brothers and on the Talkinator channel. And also subscribe to James C. Hebert's Side 95's channel and Wayne with Youth Wrestling, so that way you can watch Immortal that way if you're not subscribed to this channel. So that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.